Jake Paul, it's clear to me you are desperate for a reality check. You know what? If I made my money impressing 4-year-olds on YouTube and managed to somehow become a multimillionaire from it, I'd probably live in a dream world too. But let me explain something to you about combat sports. There are a whole bunch of men out here who will never be as famous as you, will never make the money you've made, who would kick the living fuck out of you.
Joe Rogan just exposed Andrew Tate, the self-proclaimed top G, for rejecting a fight with Jake Paul. Tate didn't just throw out a challenge, he made it a full-blown spectacle. With a theatrical offer, he called out Jake Paul and presented what he claimed was an irresistible deal. A mega money fight that would outshine any YouTube boxing match to date.
The biggest clown on the fucking internet. If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living fuck out of a fucking goofy, fucking entitled dickhead like you. You know my name, Andrew Tate.
But here's the twist. Where is Andrew Tate now? He's seemingly backtracking, sidestepping, or maybe just not ready to face Jake after all. Let's not forget why this fight was so enticing in the first place. Tate reportedly offered $3 million to make it happen.
If my brother doesn't fuck you up, I will. And it has to go down. But I don't think he gets in the ring with one of them.
So why would Jake Paul be the one to warn him off? Could it be that Tate himself had second thoughts, realizing Jake might not be the easy win he expected? And just when you thought this was a straightforward tale of Jake Paul versus Andrew Tate, Joe Rogan entered the
Me versus Andrew Tate.
Wow.
But here we are, so we could talk about that side note announcement. And please go watch the episode.
Hold on a second. What you mean you versus Andrew Tate? Because
no, I'm not saying a fight. I'm saying like our back and forth. He talks shit about me and like says he wants to beat my ass or can beat my ass and all this stuff.
I think there's a better fight to make.
Conversation with a bombshell. Rogan didn't just suggest why Tate might have backed down, he dropped a revelation about Jake Paul that's guaranteed to turn heads. Before diving into Rogan's stunning insight, let's revisit why Tate's offer was such a big deal. Tate isn't your average influencer. With a net worth exceeding $710 million, he doesn't need a boxing ring for a paycheck. He's loud, confident, and a master.
This is the hardest sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, all of which would fuck you up. I'm one of the lucky ones. I made a little bit of money. I don't have 50 million to bet with you, but I do have 3 million to bet with you. So this is your offer. $3 million.
Of selling fights. But could it be that even Tate underestimated the challenge Jake Paul presents? Professional promoters and Andrew Tate's kickboxing champion reputation made his offer to Jake Paul seem like a no-brainer. You'd think Jake would be shaking in his boxing boots. But Tate's proposal wasn't just about money, it was about making a statement. Tate positioned himself as a legitimate adversary, a fighter with real experience, rather than just a flashy
You put 3, I put 3, winner takes all. I'm 5 years out the ring. I'm a kickboxer. You're 2-0 in boxing. I'm 0-0 in boxing. I've never even fought boxing. I'm a retired old man. 5 years I've been sitting around smoking cigars and fucking bitches, which are better looking than the fucking girl you're advertising anyway.
Social media profile. He promised a match to settle their rivalry once and for all, delivering the kind of spectacle fans dream of. Yet the deal fell through, not due to logistical issues or scheduling conflicts, but for reasons that have everyone talking and not in a good way. Andrew Tate's offer should have been Jake Paul's ultimate test, the self-proclaimed disruptor of
I will fight you any day of the fucking week.
Boxing, facing off against a decorated fighter with a fearless persona. It was the perfect narrative. Jake could prove his worth, and Tate could silence his critics. But something went wrong, and this is where things get murky. Rumor has it Jake played his cards strategically, certainly warning Tate about the stakes. Jake isn't just a fighter. He's a strategist who knows how...
Why don't you lose to an old man who's retired? I live in the real fucking world, Jake. There's a whole bunch of fighters out here who live in the real fucking world. Men who are dangerous and dedicated their lives to this sport and don't have a fucking fraction of the money you have because you managed to become a fucking clown.
How to exploit his opponent's vulnerabilities. Perhaps Tate realized that Stepping into the ring wasn't just about punches and knockouts. It was about protecting his brand, his image, his legacy. For a man like Tate, losing to Jake Paul could have been catastrophic, and maybe, just maybe, that's why Tate walked away. And then there's KSI, the wild card in this.
I think you're focused on boxing boxers, people that are in the space that you reside.
Jake, I know he's been talking shit about you, bro.
Yeah.
But with your blessing, can I beat the shit out of Andrew fucking Tate?
100%.
Bizarre love triangle of boxing egos. Remember when Mike Tyson stepped into the ring to avenge Muhammad Ali against Larry Holmes? That fight became a moment of redemption, a poetic comeback that boxing fans still talk about to this day. Fast forward to 2024, and Andrew Tate seemed poised to be the Mike Tyson of our era, ready to step in and knock Jake Paul back to his YouTube blogs.
I don't think he would fight us.
Come on, he's the top G.
Nah.
Come on, he's the top G.
Nah, I don't think he would fight us.
Come on.
And he called me out like 2 years ago. And I remember seeing it. I was just like, swipe up, like, okay, who the fuck is this guy? Like, don't care. That was when everyone was calling me out. And then some interviewer recently asked, like, do you know who, or would you fight Andrew Tate? And that's when I seen this guy like starting to fucking pop up all over the internet. I was like, oh, that.
But what happened instead? Nothing. No fight, no epic revenge, no poetic justice. And here's where things get murky. Could it be that KSI, who's built a career on strategically picking winnable fights, whispered a word of caution into Tate's ear? Or was it Jake Paul, with his knack for psychological games, who got under Tate's skin? Either way, the fight never happened, leaving fans scratching their heads. Let's not give Tate a free pass here. For a man who prides himself on being fearless, backing away from Jake Paul has raised more than a few eyebrows. Was it fear, strategy, or something else entirely?
But
Tate's confidence is his
Nothing.
brand,
No
his
fight,
bread
no
and
epic
butter.
revenge, no poetic
Losing
justice.
to Jake
Your decision making when most boxers, we don't follow their career at this point.
Yeah, I'm blessed to be in the position I am, to be highly criticized. That just means I'm doing something right. And no one has had a boxing career like mine. It'll be studied and judged, but I've risen to the top in 4 years because I've taken risks. I was the underdog all the way up until Nate Robinson, and that's something that people don't remember, don't give any credit to.
Paul,
And here's where
of
things
all
get murky.
people, could have
it
been
be
a
that
devastating
KSI,
blow to his
who's made a
image,
career out
one
of
that
strategically
Tate
picking
might
fights
not
he
be
can
willing
win,
to
whispered
risk?
a word of caution into
A
Tate's
defeat
ear?
for Andrew Tate
Or
wouldn't
was it
just be
Jake
a
playing his
loss. It'd
psychological
be a public
games who
relations
got under Tate's
disaster.
skin?
But let's be fair.
Either way, the
Tate
fight
is
didn't
no
happen,
stranger
and the
to
fans were
challenges.
left scratching
The man
their
built an
heads.
empire from scratch, made millions, and dominated the kickboxing world. On paper, he had every reason to step into the ring with Jake Paul, and yet he didn't. Maybe Tate saw something in Jake the rest of us missed. Perhaps he realized Jake isn't just a YouTuber with a decent right hook. He's a master at turning public
He does tend to keep those guards down, but he's comfy at that point.
perception to his advantage. Speaking of Jake Paul, let's dive into the man who's somehow stayed at the center of every major boxing controversy in recent memory. Love him or hate him, Jake knows how to sell a fight. He's not just a boxer, he's a brand. A walking, talking spectacle who knows exactly how to get under his opponent's skin. Take this latest drama with Andrew Tate. Jake didn't just sit back and let Tate control the narrative. Oh no, he played his cards carefully, dropping hints, making subtle digs, and keeping fans guessing. And let's not forget Jake's knack for cherry-picking opponents, a strategy that's earned him both criticism and undeniable success in equal measure. Here's where things get interesting. Joe Rogan. Yes, the Joe Rogan.
Andrew keeping his balance very well, returning with the knee.
Rogan decided to weigh in on the drama, and what he revealed might just be the biggest twist in this already convoluted saga. Rogan is no stranger to controversy, and when he talks, people listen. On a recent episode of his podcast, Joe didn't hold back. He exposed the real reason Andrew Tate might have backed away from the fight, and it's not what you'd expect. According to Rogan, Tate wasn't scared of Jake's punches. He was scared of Jake's influence. Think about it. Jake Paul isn't just a fighter. He's a disruptor. He's changed the boxing game.
You see this on Kevin Samuels' show. You see this on what's the other guy? Andrew Tate. It's just confrontation. Confrontation sells. And we're not going to stop this confrontation. This is going to become an era so we can continue to make money off of people.
For better or worse, and shown he's not afraid to play dirty. For someone like Andrew Tate, whose entire brand is built on being untouchable, that kind of unpredictability is dangerous. But Joe didn't stop there. He revealed a side of Jake Paul most people don't see. Behind the bravado and trash talk, Jake is a calculated, strategic thinker. He knows how to pick his battles and, more importantly, how to win, both in the ring and out of it. According to Rogan, that's what makes Jake so dangerous. And where does KSI fit into all of this? Let's just say his role in this saga is as complicated as his boxing career. On one hand, KSI has been a vocal critic of both Jake and Tate. On the other hand, he's been accused of playing it safe, leaving fans wondering whose side he's really on in this web of boxing drama. KSI isn't just a fighter. He's a businessman who understands that reputation is everything. He's not going to risk it all for a fight he might lose. While he's quick to criticize Jake Paul and Andrew Tate, he's equally careful not to get too involved. At the end of the day, this drama isn't just about boxing. It's about egos, brands, and the ever-blurring line between sports and entertainment. Andrew Tate, Jake Paul, and KSI are all playing the same game, and they're all playing to win. But here's the real question. Who's the biggest winner in all of this? Is it Jake, who's managed to keep himself at the center of every conversation? Is it Tate, who's preserved his reputation despite backing away from the fight? Or is it Joe Rogan, who exposed the truth behind the drama with his bombshell revelations? This saga has been a roller coaster of hype, drama, and disappointment. From Tate's bold challenge to Jake's calculated psychological games to Rogan's behind-the-scenes insights, it's clear this story is far from over. While a Tate versus Jake matchup may never happen, one thing's for sure, the world of influencer boxing is more entertaining and more unpredictable than ever. So, who do you think came out on top in this battle of brands and egos? Is there a clear winner, or are they all playing their own version of victory? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.